Jesse Kelly Show. Let's have some fun. On a Tuesday, a magnificent Tuesday. It's Thanksgiving week. We are 2 days away from stuffing our fat faces like we're the cast of The View walking into Krispy Kreme, and I can't get the smile off my face. Be that as it may, there are huge things happening right now. They've happened, they're happening now, and we have to talk about them in some ways that I think will probably actually make you feel better. Some may make you feel worse. What kinds of things? Well, cases against James Comey, Laticia James, dismissed. We'll discuss that. Pam Bondi, the rumors around Pam Bondi, we'll piggyback off that. The American people are angry about some things, and then the Washington, D.C. needs a heads up on it. We'll talk about that. The invasion of Venezuela, this crazy communist white woman who's about to get elected in Nashville, why they love illegals so much. Example number 10,000. Trump's meeting with Pam Bondi. I have so many emails about that. All that and so much more coming up tonight on the Jesse Kelly Show. Now, let's discuss, at least according to my emails, a couple things that have you on the edge. So let me just lay this out right away. First of all, we're going to talk about the Bondi, James Comey, Laticia James stuff. Then we will discuss the resignation from Congress of Marjorie Taylor Greene and the supposed upcoming resignation of Moore. We're going to get into both those before we move on. And I will tell you, I'm going to do Medal of Honor Tuesday since I was gone yesterday. That's 1 hour from now. All right. The headlines were not good. You woke up, you read a headline that said the case against James Comey, former FBI James Comey, is dismissed. You read a headline that said that the case against New York Attorney General Laticia James, mortgage fraud allegations, the case is dismissed. And I understand full well the feelings that went through your veins at that moment, because they're the exact same ones that went through mine. I am so sick of this. There is no justice. None of these people are ever going to jail. This is ridiculous. Burn the whole country to the ground. Me too. Me too. But before we get to these specific cases, and I might be about to make you feel better on those specific cases, before we get to that, understand this about what we're dealing with here. That is, it's frustrating, and it's going to be frustrating for a very long time. So, because I have often referred to our current system as the largest criminal organization on the planet, let's talk about other criminal organizations, if you will. Let's make it about the mafia in America, because that's the one we're most familiar with, the mafia or the Mexican cartels. The mafia now still very much exists, as you see. There's always a new story about this drug deal or this gambling thing or this assassination. Still exists, always will, but nowhere near the level they used to be. Nowhere near the level of power. Why? Well, you can say that because so many people got arrested and sent to prison, things like that. Okay, that's part of it, but why? What is the real reason the mafia doesn't have the power it used to have? Well, to talk about that, we have to rewind and discuss how it used to be in several places in this country. It used to be in places in this country, mafia guys could double park. On a more extreme example, get away with murder. Could do virtually anything in places like Chicago. There's a famous story in Chicago, the Chicago Italian mafia is known as the Outfit or the Syndicate, where an outfit guy killed a mayor on the steps of the Capitol building and didn't get in trouble for it. How is that possible? Is it because they have a lot of guns? They're willing to commit murder? I've seen The Sopranos. Is that why? No, it's not why. You see, every single society has a justice system of some kind. In ours, We have a justice system. You know what it is. It's police officers, it's prosecutors, it's defense attorneys, it's judges. This is the justice system. And then an extension of that is, of course, the prison system. And those mafia stories are famous too. Mafia guy goes to prison, and instead of sitting with the other prisoners, he's got a king-size bed. His wife comes to see him every other night. He's eating gourmet meals. He leaves every now and then. So every country, our country, has a justice system. And the justice system is there to hold criminals accountable according to the normal citizen. You, me, that's what we want the justice system to do. We want every part of it dedicated to that. The cops, the prosecutors, the judges, the prison system. Take criminals, take guys who violate the laws in our society, arrest them, prosecute them, and put them into prison. That's what we want. That's what you want, and that's what I want. But a criminal organization interested in committing crimes understands that that justice system is a problem only if you can infiltrate it and put your people into power in it. If you can take that justice system in Chicago and you can make sure it's your DA, he owes you a favor. If you can make sure it's your judge, you slipped him $50,000 last month. If you can make sure it's your cop, he's been on the take for 10 years. If you can make sure the Justice Department, the justice system itself works for you, well, kill anybody you want. Double park all you'd like. You can't get in trouble when the only system that can get you in trouble works for you. You see? The real power of any organized crime organization, no matter wherever it is never really the guns and the men and the willingness to commit violence and the money and things like that. It's the fact that the justice system is owned by them. In Mexico, if the cartels want you dead, they'll send the cops. Cops will walk into the restaurant, arrest you in front of everyone else, throw you in the back of a squad car, and drive you out to the desert and fire a bullet in the back of your head. The power comes from owning the justice system. Now, here in the United States of America, it's not just for radio that I discuss our system, specifically our government system, as the largest, most powerful criminal organization on the planet. For years and years and years, because we're a country that's existed for almost 250 years, evil, corrupt criminals have taken over positions of great power inside of our government. And they have committed great crimes with those positions of power. But like any criminal organization, they understand there's potential problems on the horizon. Why would there be problems? After all, you're the FBI director, you're the New York Attorney General, you're the senator this, you're the congressman that. What could possibly give you problems? The DOJ, the entire justice system itself, all these prosecutors, all these judges, all these FBI agents. They might very well look into your crimes, discover your crimes, arrest you for your crimes, try you for your crimes, and of course, in the end, imprison you for your crimes. Now, you're Al Capone in Chicago. What do? You pay off the cops, you pay off the judges, you pay off the prosecutors, and you get off scot-free. You're a communist infiltrator inside the federal government and you don't want to go to prison for your crimes. What do? You dedicate time, effort, and money to ensuring your people are installed at every level of the justice system so you can't ever go down. You can't ever burn. This is the system we have in the United States of America. They don't own every judge. They don't own every prosecutor. They don't even own every FBI agent, although that organization should still cease to exist. But they own enough of them that we wake up to stories about James Comey and Laticia James, who committed obvious black and white crimes, and we see they're getting off scot-free, although they're not. I'll explain. And we get angry and we say there's no justice in the world. And normal people like us, it's disheartening. It's disheartening, and it feels like there is no justice on this earth. Not quite. I'll explain in a moment. It is the Jesse Kelly Show on a magnificent Tuesday. Remember, you can email us, jesse@jessekellyshow.com. Do not forget tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do a pretty normal show, but there's going to be another part of the show tomorrow because it's our last show before Thanksgiving and everything. I want an email from you on something you're grateful for. Does not have to be big. Does not. Can be big. That's fine. Can be small. Maybe you're grateful for a good pair of shoes. Your wife, a good job, a car that runs. Maybe it's something even bigger than that. Tell me what you're grateful for. Jesse@jessekellyshow.com. And, of course, any other email you want to send in is fine. Okay, so we're talking about Comey, Laticia James. They had their charges dismissed are all the headlines. Before I get to that, just a couple more words on the system we have. We have a criminal organization known as the United States government. They have worked very, very hard to put for themselves a system, a justice system in place that will allow them to get off scot-free when they commit crimes, and that will allow their street animal accomplices to get off scot-free when they commit crimes. This is why you wake up every day and you see stories like this.
At the August trial for Abdi Fattah Yusuf, the jury heard evidence that he ran his home health care company, Promise Health, out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home health care companies were supposedly located. Yusuf and his wife, Lol Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant, or PCA, scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money on luxury items for themselves. Despite the jury swiftly convicting Yusuf, Judge Sarah West last week decided they got it wrong.
She tossed out the verdict. That's why you see stories like this every day.
It's painful. Like, just to talk about it, it's think about it, just me remembering what happened that day. It's traumatic, honestly.
She was charged with forcibly assaulting and resisting or impeding a border agent and labeled a domestic terrorist by the Department of Homeland Security. For Martinez, she's just happy this chapter is over with.
That's the lady accused of ramming her vehicle into a Border Patrol vehicle. The judge dismissed the charges. The criminals in this country have installed criminal judges, criminal prosecutors, and certainly at the federal level, criminal cops into our system because that's true protection. That's true protection from ever getting convicted of crimes. This judge who dismissed the Comey stuff, the Laticia James stuff, she's not there to prosecute criminals, to judge, to preside over cases. She was installed there specifically to do what she did. She was installed there to ensure communist criminals can never burn for their crimes. Now, let me give you a couple nitty-gritty, very boring details about these two things, and then we will discuss Pam Bondi and the rumors about her replacement and things like that. First of all, why were both of these cases dismissed? What did the judge decide? Here's how it worked, and this is the most basic way I can explain it. Here's how it worked. Trump put into place, as is his right, a temporary U.S. attorney. A temporary U.S. attorney, right? Now, when you install a temporary U.S. attorney, you only have so many days, in this case 100 days, but that's not important. And then, after that, their time is up, and there's a replacement, okay? The replacement came in, the replacement resigned. What the judge was saying, because, by the way, after the replacement resigned, Trump put the same lady back in. What the judge said, wrongly, was that you can't do that. You're not allowed to put another person back in there. It's something that's not allowed. It's a ridiculous ruling. We all know why she did it. What does it mean specifically? Set aside all those nerdy details. Here's what it means. For James Comey, this potentially ran out the clock on the statute of limitations for the crimes he's accused of. That means there is a chance this got James Comey off scot-free. There's a chance. I'm not saying it did. There's a chance. For Laticia James, not at all. Her alleged crimes were too recent, and there will be a new U.S. attorney, and she will be prosecuted again. All right? So maybe James Comey is off scot-free now. Laticia James is not off scot-free now. Step back from the ledge. It's okay. We are going to keep encountering this same thing over and over again because we're inside the city of Chicago. The year is 1930, and we're trying to prosecute members of Al Capone's criminal organization. We keep getting charges dismissed, hung juries, criminals walking away scot-free, and we're freaking out, understandably. But that's because we haven't fully accepted that it's going to take time to get the legal corruption out of our system. All right? Now that hopefully made you feel better. Let's talk about Pam Bondi, the rumors that are out there today. It is the Jesse Kelly Show on a wonderful Tuesday, a half hour away from Medal of Honor Monday. We still have so much to get to. The House resignations. I'm going to address your concerns about the Mamdani meeting, illegal immigration, all kinds of other stuff. Now, that was the kind of nitty-gritty details about the corrupt criminal system we have and why the James Comey, Laticia James stuff got dismissed. Let's set that stuff aside now. And let's discuss Pam Bondi. I'm sure you have heard. If you have not heard, the rumors are flowing. That does not mean the rumors are accurate, but the rumors are flowing. You know who Andrew Bailey is? Let's rewind a little bit. Missouri, which it's kind of weird. You wouldn't think it, but Missouri is quickly becoming one of the most hardcore anti-communist states in the Union. And they had an attorney general by the name of Eric Schmidt. Eric Schmidt is a stud. Just awesome. Awesome guy. Just like you, just like me. He decides to run for United States Senate, gets elected. He's now Senator Eric Schmidt. Great dude. Great dude. Who replaces him? Andrew Bailey. Do you know the reason Dr. Fauci is on the record? He got deposed and on the record, and it looks dishonest. It was Andrew Bailey who did that. Attorney General Andrew Bailey of Missouri. It was a few months ago. We got a headline that was weird, and we didn't spend a ton of time on it because you don't care about individual states and their attorney general. It's not something that's on your mind all the time, or mine. Andrew Bailey was leaving his post as attorney general of Missouri, and he was going to be, I think it was assistant deputy director of the FBI. I don't know the exact title. I believe that's what it was. Well, that's kind of weird. We already have a deputy director. We have Dan Bongino, but it was odd. It was eyebrow raising, but nothing you're going to spend a ton of time on, or I'm going to spend a ton of time on. And I did, I asked people about it. How?
People be texting.
That's how. What, Chris? People be texting, all right? I texted. I didn't get much for information, but it was still odd. The rumors, and I need to stress again, they're only rumors, are that Andrew Bailey may potentially replace Pam Bondi in the coming months. The rumors say Trump is frustrated, he's angry, and he may have Andrew Bailey replace her, which now that would make more sense if you put him at the FBI learning about the bones of all these cases, kind of setting him up to walk into the job. What also would make sense is Donald Trump is famous for this. Maybe he's leaning on Pam Bondi in public to try to prompt more action. Maybe he's feeling the heat from you and from me. And that's kind of what I want to get to here. Do you remember this? This was from last week. Do you remember this?
Just showing this from the Hill right now. This is a measure to condemn socialism. The vote is still being tabulated. But of note, the 4 leading Democrats in the House voted with Republicans to condemn socialism.
The House Republicans last week held a vote to condemn socialism. Now, I can see your blood pressure rising. So is mine. Why did that go over so poorly? Because it's something that does nothing, but you wouldn't think it would actually create anger on the right. After all, I don't like socialism. You don't like socialism. Why did it anger you so much? Why did it anger me so much? We need tangible things now. The era of Republicans giving a great committee question to somebody, railing against someone in the Senate, passing these condemnations of socialism, and then going to us and getting a pat on the head for it, that era is gone. The anger on the right at the criminality of our system is only rising. It's going up, 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 and up. We want prices down. We want every illegal deported. And we really want government criminals thrown into prison. We don't give a crap about the latest condemnation of socialism. And not only that you did it, it's kind of insulting. It's a little bit insulting. It's the equivalent of Ob yelling at me because I've been eating poorly, and then I order a salad and just throw it away. It's kind of what it feels like. It's almost, it'd be better if you didn't even order it than just doing that. It would be better to not do anything else that's just for show now, because we're all done with show. Pam Bondi has put a lot of very bad things on her resume in the course of a year. She called a bunch of conservative influencers up to the White House and told them they were going to get binders of Epstein information. There was no information in it. She made herself, Donald Trump, and every one of those people look bad in that moment. That looked really, really bad. Then she kept going on the news saying all kinds of things like this.
We will find out who you are, and we will come after you. Domestic terrorists, foreign terrorists, you better look out, because we're coming after you. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. You better watch out, because we're coming after you. Let me be very clear. If you don't comply with federal law, you're going to be next. Let this be a warning. You can run, but you cannot hide. Justice is coming.
Justice is coming, yet the lady who rams Border Patrol agents, judge dismissed the charges. Justice is coming, but a judge just tossed out a guilty verdict because the couple happened to be Somali. Justice is coming, but the woman who drove a U-Haul truck at federal officials is currently free on bail.
A woman accused of driving a U-Haul truck toward officers during an immigration protest in Oakland last month is now free on bail. Authorities say 26.
Justice hasn't gotten here, and we're frustrated. Justice is coming.
People have to be held accountable. No one, Sean, is above the law. No one is above the law, and you will be held accountable. And, you know, a very liberal grand jury in one of the most liberal jurisdictions in the country just indicted James Comey. Now, we know, of course, we have to go to trial. We'll have a great trial team, and everyone, of course, is innocent until proven guilty. However, we are going to trial in this case, and this is just the beginning.
We wake up this morning, we see James Comey and Laticia James have their charges dismissed. We're done with resolutions. We're done with Fox News hits that sound tough. Justice is coming. You're going down. You can't do this. Fair or unfair, the right has had enough of words. We have had enough. And we don't want to hear any more idle threats. No more barking. It's time to start biting. No more barking. And by the way, that may be on some level unfair of you and me to demand that, because we just discussed the criminal system we currently have in place. Pam Bondi can't remove every communist judge. She can't. So maybe at some point, maybe at some level, it's not even fair, but you're not interested in fair right now, and neither am I. I don't have time to worry about what is fair or what is unfair. Life is unfair. You are the top law enforcement officer in the United States of America. We now have less than 4 years, right about 3 years left, and then we have to assume the worst. You have 3 years to start sending government criminals into jail, into prison, and right now they're all walking away scot-free with nothing but a few legal fees, which will probably be covered by George Soros on the back end. Fair? Unfair? I don't want to hear it. I don't know whether the rumors are true. Either do you. We'll find out in the coming days. But what I do know is we're done with resolutions. We're done with interviews. Start sending government criminals to prison because we want to save our country. The Jesse Kelly Show on a magnificent Tuesday, 10 minutes away from Medal of Honor Tuesday because we weren't here yesterday. So that's the Pam Bondi stuff. I know you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. It's a very corrupt system. And I'm not going to do an I told you so thing. I'm not. But do you do remember all the way back to the very beginning when Donald Trump first got elected and he nominated former Congressman Matt Gaetz from Florida as Attorney General. I don't know Matt Gaetz. I'm not a fan. I'm not an enemy. I don't know Matt Gaetz. But what I do know about Matt Gaetz is when he was in the House of Representatives, he was a relentless pit bull about government corruption on both sides. Had no time for it, was not there to make friends, made all kinds of enemies. Almost immediately, Matt Gaetz got shot down by the GOP Senate. They said, no, not him. What? And then when you look back in hindsight, he was the only major Trump appointee that didn't get through. They may have not liked Pete Hegseth or not liked this guy, but in the end, they felt, hey, he's a newly elected president, even won the popular vote. He gets who he wants. That was the attitude. That's why he got everyone else. He gets who he wants, except for one position. Now, did you think that was about Matt Gaetz and his issues, whatever they may be? It was not about Matt Gaetz. It was about the position itself. For the GOP Senate, they'll let you have the CIA director you want, the FBI director you want, the Department of the Defense Secretary. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to call him now. The head of the Department of War, the War Secretary. They'll let you have all those things now. But you see, the top law enforcement officer in the United States of America, that person is somebody who can actually legitimately threaten the system. That is someone who holds the power to threaten the criminal organization known as the United States government. So that is the one position we can't allow. Hey, we can't get a reformer in there. So what did he do? What do you do? They rejected Matt Gaetz. You went with good old-fashioned establishment Pam Bondi, and everyone who's listened to the show for a while remembers I freaked out back then for a reason. There is a reason they allowed her and didn't allow him, because they knew you were going to get a whole lot of this.
We will find out who you are, and we will come after you. Domestic terrorists, foreign terrorists, you better look out, because we're coming after you. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. You better watch out, because we're coming after you. Let me be very clear. If you don't comply with federal law, you're going to be next. Let this be a warning. You can run, but you cannot hide. Justice is coming.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to talk about something, a bigger injustice than all this. I had to go to New York over the weekend. That's where I was. It was for business stuff, the suits and whatever. I had to go to New York City. Plus, I'd like to visit the place before Pam Bondi burns the whole thing down. We'll get to the Pam Bondi meeting next hour. I will, I promise. I wanted to visit New York City anyway, and the suits wanted me up there, so I had to go up there. We go out, steakhouse on Saturday night. Nice, right? Hey, who doesn't love a free steak? Steak's expensive now. You go to a steakhouse for steak now, it's like $60. It's freaking expensive. I'll take a free steak. Sit down in the steakhouse. This is a nice steakhouse. They have all these sauce options for the steak. Now, I'm normally not a sauce on or with the steak guy. Just season it, some steak butter or something like that. That's normally how I eat a steak. I have nothing against sauces, but this place had all these specialty sauces. One of the specialty sauces in this place was anchovy hollandaise sauce. Chris? Anchovy hollandaise sauce. You with me on this? Fascinating, right? Fascinating. I've never heard of it. I figure might as well. And surely this is the kind of place that will remember. I order my steak. When I order my steak, I order a side of anchovy hollandaise sauce. Do you think they brought the sauce? Do you think the sauce came out with, I don't know, it had to be $200 worth of food with everybody who was there and eating? Do you think they brought the sauce? No. No, of course not. Because the most discriminated against minority in the United States of America are sauce people. Those of us who ask for something so simple, it could be a side of ketchup. It could be a side of ranch. Maybe it's some weird anchovy hollandaise, which actually turned out to suck really bad, by the way. Yeah, eventually. It doesn't matter what it is. The waitress, she might write it down. She might not write it down. But one thing that's a guarantee, you can etch it in stone like the 10 Commandments. They will not bring the sauce when you get your food. And then 10 minutes after you get your food, as it's sitting there getting cold, the waitress will come up and ask how everything is. And you will tell the waitress that you didn't get your sauce. And after you tell the waitress that, she'll act surprised like she does every time and say something like, oh, they didn't bring it? And then you'll wait another 10 minutes as she bounces around to her other 10 tables to fill up their water and take this person's order. And by the time, right about the time you're finishing off the last morsel of whatever your meal is, that's when the sauce will finally arrive at your table, because sauce people are treated like freaking lepers. What you want is completely unimportant. The waitress doesn't eat sauce. They don't eat sauce in the back. I don't need this. So if I don't care about it, surely the person who ordered it didn't care about it. And you know what? God only knows what they charged for the sauce in this steakhouse. I wouldn't know because I didn't pay. I bet it was $5-6, maybe even more. And I guarantee you they put it on the bill too. They never bring the freaking sauce. I don't understand. I have worked in a restaurant before. You have a piece of paper in front of you. You write down on the paper, bring the sauce. Then the paper gets handed back, and then they're laying the meal out, and somebody looks at the meal and looks at the piece of paper. Oh, sauce isn't there. I'll add the sauce. But apparently this two-step process that could be done by a monkey that's been hit in the head too many times is too difficult for the restaurant industry. It is beyond belief that we sauce people can never get what we want. Oh, I'm so upset. I got my blood pressure up, Chris. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna text somebody.
People be texting.
I'm gonna text someone. That's it, and I'll be fine. You know what? We'll do Medal of Honor Monday. It'll get my mind off the sauce, and then I'll talk about the Pam Bondi stuff and the congressional resignations.